Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The fact that, Mr. Speaker, you have told us that we debate and you are going to rule on this one. I ask myself, the fact that Azimio didn't win the election of the Speaker, who are the majority then? That is our question. If we are debating, if you didn't win, we didn't win. I'm in Azimio. We didn't win the position of the Speaker, who are the majority then. That is, yes, that is the answer. You should answer. Who won? Who won? Put the question, Mr. Speaker. Who won the position of the Speaker? Then, who are the majority? Then, we should be debating on other things, Mr. Speaker. We should help our people. Like Kisi, we have no water, we have no electricity. We are discussing things that have been shot straight. Who was the Speaker then when we came to Parliament? The first time on 29th of September, who was elected as the Speaker? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Wamboka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My contribution is as follows. First, I'll speak as an elder from Luya community. No, you relax.
Order.
I'll speak as an elder from the Luya community that let's keep the Speaker out of this issue. If you get to the position of the Speaker, then we start taking sides and it will not be good. Two, Honorable Speaker, parties went for election and the law required that you choose which coalition you wanted to belong. At that point, that was to determine which side you belong. There was Azimio and there was Kenya Kwanza. Some people decided to sign agreement with the Kenya Kwanza. Some decided to sign agreements with Azimio. Please, let's respect that position. Then elections were held, results came out. Mr. Speaker, I know some members of Parliament, when we had the first meeting of Azimio in KICC, we had Kinamutuse with us. It is only after realizing that the presidency is going Segemunege, that is how they shifted to the other side. But the fact that their numbers belonged to Azimio has not changed. Now, basic people here are trying to argue that you can change any other time. No, at the time of election, Azimio was the majority. Give us that position. Honorable Junet Mohammed is our majority leader. Honorable Milio Diambo is our majority whip. If you feel numbers have changed, bring that here on the table, we discuss it. That is a different thing. But as at election, Honorable Speaker, Azimio Party is the majority party of this House. Let the Speaker rule. If you feel you have numbers, bring it on. We deal with you. In fact, Osoro, you should be very ashamed. I thought you are a lawyer. Your arguments are below and below and below as a basic nursery school class. So you cannot tell us that. We are the majority. Mwisho, Mr. Speaker, what I have said about the Speaker's stance, keep the Speaker out of these matters. Because sisi kama Waluya, hiyo ndio kiti tuko nayo peke yake. Msitufanyie mchezo.
Sabina Chege. Sabina Chege. Yes.
Thank you.
Order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this
yes,
opportunity.
Sabina, hold. Yes, Junet. What is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the honorable member, Honorable Wamboka, who has just finished his contribution, Mr. Speaker, says that the only seat we have in this parliament, the seat of lawyers, is only yours, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, do we assume now?
Order, Honorable. He also said keep the Speaker out of this. So keep me out of this. Sabina Chege.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. And Mr. Speaker, from the onset, I want to say that this judgment is meant to bring paralysis in this House. And you need, Mr. Speaker, to make a decision on this matter. Having listened to my colleagues on this judgment, and I've also gone through it, Mr. Speaker, there's a lot of consideration on the status quo as on 6th of October 2022. Mr. Speaker, from 6th of October, many things have changed. Mr. Speaker, after your ruling, we made committees that were formed in this House. Mr. Speaker, there is also Parliamentary Service Commission that was also formed based on the minority and the majority. We have the IBC Select Commission. Mr. Speaker, we also, as a House, gave the leadership. Early this month, Mr. Speaker, we also received communication or reconstitution of the committees. And this afternoon, we're meant to have the House Business Committee. And so, Mr. Speaker, the big question I'm asking myself. So, who are going to be the chairs or the membership based on the majority and minority? And I think as a House, Mr. Speaker, and the fact that you're supposed to give a decision, you need to clear the air on the issue of majority and minority. After 2 years, Mr. Speaker, many things have changed. There are post and there are pre-coalition agreements. There are some coalition agreements that were done before the election, Mr. Speaker. If we take the case of Chap, Mr. Speaker, even before the election, they had left the coalition that they had signed with before. And so as we make the decision, are they part of Azimio? And the other question is, does Azimio still exist? Mr. Speaker, as a Jubilee party, June 2023, we wrote a letter here as members of Jubilee Committee and requested to be an independent political party. So, Mr. Speaker, as we make this decision, are we going to be counted in Azimio, or are we going to be counted as independent? And because, Mr. Speaker, we hold these positions, we need clear guidance, Mr. Speaker, on this issue, so that as the whip sit down to reallocate the position, we know where we belong. Simple mathematics. If people are doubting, we can do mlolongo as year of time. We can do the calculation on who is on Kenya Kwanza, who is on Azimio, and make a decision, Mr. Speaker, instead of wasting time, Mr. Speaker, on precious time where you are supposed to be passing important bills in this republic. Then, Mr. Speaker, finally, there is broad-based government. So where do we stand?
Thank you. Otienda Molo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,